Guys, I'm eating a biscuit. We're going to talk Stephen Crowder. Because I think a lot of people have the wrong take on this. Let's break it down. So normally I would not get involved. Normally, you know, people having a fight, it's between them. But the Daily Wire and Stephen's wife seem to want to make this very public. So here we are. Because this is her. This video, I bet you, this was leaked by the wife. Or a person who is working for the wife. Like a lawyer. Because there are some very, very subtle cuts in this video. And we're going to talk about it. So let's jump straight into it. So what we did, we'll go through, we'll play the video. We'll play Stephen Crowder's response, Candace Owens' response, and then I'll break down why I think a lot of people are wrong. A lot of people are hating on Stephen for this. I think they might have the wrong take, but let's go.
I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You were not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There are no groceries. I would have to.
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes. How do you man? How do you man receive love?
Respect.
No. How do you man? No, you're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You are not.
then I will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not about Stephen.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Stephen, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Stephen.
Like, I can't
Stephen.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
Stephen,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Stephen.
The only way out of it is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it when we're at an impact.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Stephen.
Yeah. There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Stephen.
Hillary,
Stephen?
you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Stephen, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Stephen, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Fucking watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you, and the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right, we're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. As a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not gonna.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you, I'm committed to it. Walk the dogs, put on some gloves. Walk the dogs, put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just
walk the dogs, put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take Betty.
Now, the first part I want to talk about is this part here. You didn't show this. There's no video of this. There's no evidence of this. It's just a black box that's supposed to tell people what happened, right? They've provided over 3.5 minutes of footage, but for some reason they couldn't let it keep going for another minute to capture this. Or they couldn't leave, well, the video would have actually been going, but they would have gone through and they couldn't have, like, put that in. It's weird, hey? It's weird how they wouldn't show this part. Yeah, we're just supposed to take their word for it, of course. Right? Now, first thing is this here. This video finishes at 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Right? So, at the moment, 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
I drew a boundary.
Right?
I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You were not taking the car.
I'm trying to...
Because if you
Right.
refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
God, there's such shit. Right. So...
I drew a boundary.
So it starts at, say, 12:35.
I drew a boundary.
Right? So it starts at 12:35 is the clock down the bottom here. It's hard to see, but it's there. It goes for 3.5 minutes. So 35, 36, 37, 38. That means this is supposed to finish at 12:38:30, right? Because it's a 3.5 minute clip. You know, there's a couple of seconds I'm allowing for at the start. So say 3.5 minutes, right? So what was I say? 12:38 and a half. So why does it finish at 3:29? If we scroll all the way to the end, is there some way to download this video? No, there's not. Of course not. Down the bottom, you can see the time. It's roughly, it's exactly 3:29. So there's about 30 seconds of this video that's missing. You can see down the bottom there, 3:29:08, right? So there's about 38 seconds that's missing. There are cuts in this video. There's about 30 seconds to a minute that's missing, right? And it's really hard to tell, right? The first cut.
I drew a boundary. No, you just did.
So we're at 3:35:04, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, cut. We just had a cut. Now you can't notice it with the video because they spliced it together really, really well, which makes me wonder why they're doing that. But you can see her. You can see her movements. She jerks a little bit.
How do you respect the man? Yes. Other than that, you see love. No. Other than that, no, you're not taking love.
I didn't get back further enough. Sorry.
Respect the man. Yeah. How about you first? How do you respect the man? Yes. Other than that, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about
There was the cut. Right there. They cut out about 30 seconds, or about 10 seconds or so. Right? So at the moment, the time is... This is fucking annoying. Why did I have to put the time on the bottom? It is 12:36 and 3 seconds, I believe.
But I'll go do it.
35, there. We lost about 30 or 40 seconds. Just cut from there. Because it jumps.
How about you first?
Right there.
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill.
We go from 35, 20, 21, 22, 23. We go from 35.23 to 36.08. So we lose about 30 seconds. What was said during those 30 seconds? No idea. Because the video's been edited. But God knows what she said by then. She could have said something. We don't know. Why? If they're going to upload a 3.5-minute video, why did you cut that part? Why was that part cut out? I've heard the argument that a Ring stops recording because it only records 15 minutes or whatever. Okay, but this video clip's not 15 minutes it's entirely. The whole thing's not in 15 minutes. Even with all the cuts. I think it was cut because she said something they did not want it to come out. And that's my biggest point about this, is that this looks like it's come from her camp. In fact, Candace Owens will later admit, when we watch Candace's video shortly in a sec, that she actually received a statement from the wife and the wife's family. So that's the first thing a lot of people are missing, is that this is heavily edited to make Stephen look bad and to make the wife look good, for a start. Candace Owens has come out and made a statement.
So a bit of breaking news that just happened, and before we get to it, I just want to back
Now, this is 16.5 minutes. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we just want to watch the start.
up and tell you why we are discussing this breaking news, because it's occurred to me that there are some people out there who believe that to be a conservative, what it means is that we become tribal and we defend other conservatives even when they do things that are wrong, that we don't discuss things that are horrible.
That's gaslighting. For a start. You're gaslighting people. You're saying that he is automatically wrong, and if you're defending him, you're tribal. That's gaslighting. That is typical lefty behaviour from Candace Owens. No big surprise knowing her history. But that's gaslighting.
On our own side, because we need to just make sure that we score wins in other ways, and that is wrong. That to me is the exact opposite of why I have this platform. I am not tribal. I want to expose things when they are bad on the left, and I will also expose...
Bullshit. Bullshit, you're not. Anybody knows Candace's backstory and knows her full story with her, like, with the website and everything like that, knows that she is very tribal. Oh, she's changed. Oh, she's different. Oh, she's not like that anymore. So we keep hearing. But I don't think this has anything to do with Candace per se. I think Candace has a bone up her butt because at the end of the day, she doesn't like the way that Crowder and the Daily Wire conducted themselves during that dispute between the contracts. Who knows? Maybe she doesn't get paid as much because he was offered. Maybe it's just jealousy. She comes across as a bit of a jealous woman, actually. To me, anyway, in my opinion. But let's keep going.
Those things when they are bad on the right. Obviously, I have been interested in the Steven Crowder saga pertaining to his divorce because he literally inserted me into his divorce a couple of days ago.
No. My understanding was she was the first one that started this. My understanding was. Right? So, like, this video came out on the 28th, which was 2 days ago. Steven Crowder's first response was on the 29th. Right? And as far as I know, he hasn't Unless he said something on the show. Let's go through his timeline here. Is this his timeline I'm on? So that's the 28th. So I thought I was on his timeline, I wasn't. 27th. 27th. So the first he's posted about this as far as I know, on Twitter at least anyway, was the 2 days after. The 28th at 7 a.m. Oh, so on the same day. But what time do we have? 3 hours after, 5 hours after Candace talked about it. Candace posted this at 7 a.m. Crowder posted this at 12:45 a.m. Oh no, hang on, that's in the morning, isn't it? 12:45 a.m. Yeah. So he's posted this, and then she's posted the response. Maybe. But anyway. But let's keep going because this is the important thing.
And his wife and family are now speaking out regarding that video in which he told people publicly that his wife was leaving him. You remember this. He chose wrong. And he essentially made it sound as if he did not want his marriage to end.
Now, his wife is speaking out, and Candace already knows this at 7 a.m. So she's obviously been talking to the wife for some time. Right? Like I said, I don't know. Maybe he covered it on his show. I don't know. I'd have to go and check. But it just doesn't seem... Yeah, okay, whatever.
But his wife simply wanted to leave. Well, she has responded by giving video, and I want to prep you. I want you to know this is horrific video. It is very difficult to watch. It's especially difficult to watch because in this footage, she is 8 months pregnant. And the video essentially reveals just how emotionally abusive he has been. And she is alleging that he has been emotionally abusive to her. And this video all but confirms it. So...
No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, but this video doesn't prove anything. This video is two people having a fight. And like I said, we have a video that is heavily edited to make him look bad. They've removed stuff. They've removed certain times where she could have said God knows what. In that 30 seconds, that first edit alone, she could turn around and call him all sorts of words. We don't know what went on. We don't have the full unedited version of it. And what we've seen, I've watched the whole video, but what we've seen is a husband that wants his wife to do some frigging housework. That's what this whole fight seems to be about. He wants her to walk the dogs and put on some gloves. I'm presuming the put on the gloves is doing dishes. I'm presuming that's what it is. Right? Who knows? Maybe she needs gloves to walk a dog. She wants to walk a dog and give her medicine. And everybody's going on, oh, but the car thing. Yeah, he's simply saying that if you take the car, I've got to stay home, and you can't give me a time for when you're going to be home. I was in a relationship for 6 years. The one before that, 5 years. Right? If my wife or partner at the time wanted to leave, I'd be like, yeah, no worries. When are you home? I don't know. 4 o'clock. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever. Alright, okay. There was one time when my wife was massively delayed. And she was out with one of her girlfriends and just having fun, and it was during the day, so I wasn't real worried. But yeah, she wouldn't answer her phone, she was late, blah, blah, blah. I never really got to the end of that. Probably should have. But anyway, but yeah, she there was one time where she was sort of like massively delayed. And you see in this video, we'll go through it again. You see in the video, he asks her what time she's home. She's like, I'll be home when I'm home. I'm like, it's not much of a freaking answer. They've presumably got one car. We don't know if the other one's in the shop. We don't know if they only have one car or whatever. Right? Everybody's going on about Steven Crowder being like this multi-millionaire that runs his own show because of Mug Club. He's got stuff. He's got wages. He's got rent and everything that has to pay on the building and everything like that. I don't think Crowder is actually making a lot of money from his own show. The common saying in business is if you ever want to be rich, don't own your own business. Right? So maybe they can't afford 2 cars. Maybe one of them's in the shop. We don't know. Right? But she's wanting to take the only car they've got and to go out for God knows how long. And he's like, well, hang on, I need to go and do the shopping. Because you won't go and do it. And like I said, we'll go back and we'll play it again. Right? But, so Candace is talking to the mother, to the wife, and to her family. So this has been recorded or uploaded at 7 a.m. So obviously she's been talking to him for some time before then.
Let's first get to the footage. I'm just going to allow you to watch it in its entirety.
Right, we've already done that. Now, Stephen has responded to this as well.
Stop with the pearl clutch.
So here it is. Sorry. And here it is here.
I commented on my ongoing divorce on Tuesday, requesting privacy in the best interest of the...
Right, so he commented on it on Tuesday. Right? So Tuesday would have been on the 25th.
I commented on my ongoing divorce on Tuesday, requesting privacy in the best interest of the family, but also by court order agreed upon by all parties. Look, broken marriages are ugly.
So here's the thing. If he's gone through and he's said, look, I'm getting a divorce. This is probably what he said on Tuesday. I'm getting a divorce. It's going to be messy. I've picked the wrong woman, whatever it may be. And that's all I'm going to really say about it. Or something like that, probably, is what he said, right? She's then turned around and leaked the video, which is probably against the court anyway, but good luck anything happening to her. And this video came out on the 28th. So the 25th was the Tuesday. The 28th, this article was written, posted, edited, everything like that. So this was ready to go. Right? Because otherwise someone really acted on this fast. But anyway.
And in them people do ugly things. Myself, of course included, I would never claim otherwise. However,
of course,
due to recent misleadingly edited leaks to the tabloid press without context and not subject to consequences of the court, well, if not privacy, the next best option is...
Now, we know the clip's edited. We've already proved that. And there is no context. He's right.
Truth. So today, I have filed a motion to officially unseal all files as they relate to the matter of legal record. Finances, relevant medical records, including mental health history or evaluations, depositions, and any motions or sanctions from the courts of Texas. I will not be leaking private marital information to the press, but if the privacy agreements are not respected by all parties, I will address all that is a matter of irrefutable legal record in full context next week. I commented on my ongoing divorce.
So, like I said, let's go back, let's rewatch this now, and let's break it down.
I drew a boundary. I drew a boundary.
So, I drew a boundary. I drew a boundary is a term that is commonly used, from what I understand, in a case where couples have gone to couples counsel. I drew boundary means stop, this is getting to a point where I'm uncomfortable, or I don't want to deal with this, and it's basically calling like a timeout. Right? So he says,
I drew a boundary.
because I drew boundary. I drew a boundary. No.
I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary and abusive and cruel.
And abusive and cruel. So, he says, I drew boundary. I drew boundary. No.
Boundary. No, you just did.
No, you just did. You just did it. I drew a boundary.
You just did it. I drew a boundary and abusive and cruel.
At abusive and cruel. So, for a start, what presumably just happened before this clip, that part that we don't see, because it was edited out, was her calling him abusive and cruel. What I believe happened is something along the lines of, she's turned around and said, you're abusive and cruel. He's turned around and said, no, I drew a boundary, no, because he's obviously not happy with that. To be honest, it's one of my pet hates as well. I hate it when people call me something that I'm not. There are plenty of things that I am. There are plenty of things that you can call me. You don't have to go calling me abusive or cruel or anything like that if it's not true. Right? And that's the first thing. I think he says, at abusive and cruel, because that is abusive. No, because that is abusive, you are not taking the car. So she's basically, he said, I've drawn a boundary at abusive and cruel. Her response, because that's abusive. His response, you are not taking the car.
You are not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
If you refuse to do wifely things, chores, housework, whatever it may be, then I will go and get the groceries. He is simply saying, if you don't want to go and do the housework, if you don't want to go and do the groceries, I'm going to have to go and do that myself. I'm going to need the car.
Steaks, wood pellets.
She responds, there are no groceries today. His response, steaks, wood pellets, my grill. He's like, no, there is groceries. I need to go and buy some steaks, wood pellets, I don't know what pellets are, my grill. Her response is, I know it's...
My grill. I know it's not unreasonable.
Sorry, his response is, I know it's not unreasonable, but I'll go and do it. How about?
But I'll go do it. How about you first?
So that was the first edit, right? First edit, we have no idea. We lost about 20 or 30 seconds already. Right? Then his response 30 seconds after the edit that we lost. You first, Hillary. How about you respect the men? Yes.
Hillary, how do you respect the men? Yes. Other than men. Other than men.
The other men you see, the mother comes back.
You see the mother comes back. No. Other than men. No, you're not taking the car.
He said, you're not taking the car, Stephen.
You're not taking the car.
And then he said, you're not taking the car again. Stephen.
You are not.
Then I will ask them.
Then I will ask someone to pick me up. Who would you like to ask? For a start, where does she need to go? Where does she need to go that is so damn important? If he's going to go and do the groceries and all that sort of stuff, obviously she's not doing it. So where the hell does she need to go? That is so damn important, she needs to leave right now. But it's not that important that she's not just going to leave. She's going to have an argument first.
What would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
He's like, what is that, a threat?
It's not a threat, Steven.
Get an Uber.
It's interesting that she said, who would you like me to ask? I wonder if she has some maybe male friends and maybe nothing's happened, but maybe that's what she was implying. Normally that's the case when it comes to women, right? When women turn around and say, well, if I'm not going to get the car, then I'm going to go and ask Jared or Bob or whoever it may be. Right? Who knows? Maybe it's a girlfriend. Maybe. But like, why does she phrase it like that? Why did she phrase it like, who would you like me to ask? He says, get an Uber.
Steven, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Why can't she get an Uber? What, because she's pregnant? Well, I can tell you now, Uber drivers and pregnant women don't have a problem. I've seen pregnant women get in Ubers. It's not a problem. Feeling some constraints, like I can't go?
Steven.
Like, I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to
So he says, I can't go to the gym. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. I don't know what this is all about. I have no idea. I don't know if this is their home or her house and not his house or whatever. I don't know why he's saying that. But he's basically saying, at the very least, what he's saying is if you take the car, what am I supposed to do for the rest of the day? You want to leave. You want to go out. You don't want to tell me when you're going to be home. God knows when that is. But remember, if you do that, I can't get anything done. I can't go and buy the groceries that I need to buy.
take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
I'll be back when I'm back? Okay. An hour? A day? A week? When is I'll be back when I'm back mean?
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
See,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back?
So he says, do you understand the difference between my life set to the second and yours being I'll be back when I'm back? Obviously, he's very OCD. Obviously, he likes things being planned out, right? Daily routine, stuff like that. He's probably got a bit of autism, right? And her response is, I'll be back when I'm back again. Like I said, a day, a week, a month? What does that mean? My partner had to turn around and said to me when we were together, I'll be back when I'll be back. I'll be like, no, you can give me a freaking rough idea where you are. Or when you'll be home. What am I supposed to do? Just wait around the house? Well, I'll wait for you to come home and you'll just turn up when you want to turn up? You'll come home when you want to come home or when you get bored or when you get hungry?
The only way out of it is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline and respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Stephen.
Hillary,
Stephen?
you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Stephen, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Stephen, your abuse is sick.
And then she circles back again, saying your abuse is sick. The very same thing that he said he did not want to hear about earlier, right? He called the stop thing, right? So what are we, roughly halfway? We go all the way back to here.
Because I drew a boundary.
Because I drew a boundary. He drew a boundary on her calling him abusive and sick already, and she keeps doing it.
Watch it.
And that's when he says, watch it. She's calling him abusive and sick. This is supposedly his wife calling him abusive and sick.
Fucking watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. You need to just fucking baby for a little bit. Okay? I love you.
Now, it's interesting. She says something there. We're not quite sure what it is. But there's no text. Weird, that. Let's try and make it out.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. You need to just fucking baby for a little bit. Okay?
You just need to something.
I need some space. You need to just fucking baby for a little bit.
You just need to something and something. Okay.
Okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem.
Now, that in himself, that was probably a bad thing to say. The fact he doesn't love her, right? But I get why he's saying it. We'll keep going.
Never received love from you, and the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it, you go, no, but I love you.
So, he's saying, you claim to love me, but every time I ask you to do something, you say no. Right? And we find out later that this is all about, like, giving the dog its medicine, and I believe this is the dog that had, like, surgery? I think it was. I think this is the dog. This is his dog that had, like, surgery or something major. It was, like, kidney surgery or something. Right? I always thought it was weird that the dog was on the set. Now I'm starting to think it's probably because she couldn't look after it.
You more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. It's not fair, and it's disingenuous.
He's 100% right. If someone says, I love you more than life itself, and then I'd be like, okay, well, can you help me out with the housework? And they say, no. They obviously don't love you. Like, he's not asking her to build a rocket ship and go to the moon. He's asking her to put on some gloves and walk a dog. And to give some dog its medicine. The dog that's, by the way, has had just, what I'm presuming, is major surgery. And she wouldn't give it its medicine, she wouldn't walk it, and she wouldn't put on some gloves. But she loves him so much. I love you more than life itself. But I won't do anything for you. That is a manipulation. She is a manipulator in this. In my opinion, she is a manipulator. I've seen it with women. It happens all the time.
Hillary, you're right in that. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife, no, not at all.
So there was a cut there. Another cut. He says to her, become someone worthy of a wife. Right? And then it cuts. And then it keeps going to this point. And basically he's saying, look, you're not doing anything around the house. As far as my understanding is anyway. He's like, you're not doing the housework. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. Become a worthy wife. Become someone, partnership. Right? A partner, a wife is supposed to be a partner. People will be like, oh, she's pregnant with twins, 8 months pregnant. Okay, but do you think she was like this before she got pregnant as well? I don't want to go into too much detail, but I had a girl that I met. I met her in Melbourne after a couple of months of me constantly flying down every couple of weekends in a row. You know, going down there, you know, I'll go down there once every, you know, month, 2 months, whatever it was. Spend the weekend with her. And she came up here for a holiday. It was supposed to be for 2 weeks. Stayed for 6 years. Right? Must have done something right. But when she first came up here, she would sit at home and play the Xbox all day long. Wouldn't get a job. the amount of fights that we had because of the same thing. She wanted to sit at home on her ass and play the Xbox. I'd come home from work, the chores weren't done, the housework wasn't done. She was still sitting in her PJs playing the Xbox when I'd come home from working 2 jobs. I would start at like 8 or 9 in the morning. I'd come home at like 8 or 9 at night. And she'd still be in her PJs, sitting on the couch, being there all day, playing the Xbox. Got to the point where finally I turned around and I said, if you don't have a job within 2 weeks, I'm going to send you back home. Amazingly, she got a job. But, you know, like I say, look, I get it. I get the appeal. If you can sit at home and play the Xbox and not work, why would you? Why would you work? You get paid, right? You can sit at home and enjoy your life. I get it. She won't walk the dog, give it its medicine after it's probably just had surgery, judging by this date, and put on some gloves. Just saying.
Life. I didn't say the wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll get text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not.
Are you? Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not gonna.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to it. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just.
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? What you're taking?
Right, and that's where the video ends. He says, walk the dogs, put on some gloves, and give it some medication. Here's the thing that most people don't understand. He's conservative. In the conservative sphere, women do the housework, especially if they're making sort of good money. The husband goes to make the money. The wife stays home, does the housework. Seemingly, she's not doing that. Now, you know, like everybody's like, oh, you know, like, oh, what's he doing? He's sitting around smoking a cigar. This could be his day off. What's the date? Was it a weekend?
Take Betty.
21st of the 6th, I believe it says. 21. So 21, 6 is June, 21st is a Monday. God, this thing's so frustrating. There we go. No, 26th, sorry. 26th of the 6th. 26th of the 6th. On 21. It's a Saturday. It's a weekend. Because he's home. He's got the weekend off. He's worked all week. God knows what hours he's doing. Running his own business. Running his own show. If it's anything like Tim Pool's doing, he's probably doing 12, 14-hour days. He's got 2 days off. His wife is about to walk out or go out and go God knows where for God knows how long and will, quote, be home when she's home. She's claiming she's committed to him, but she won't go and even walk the dog. He's asking her to simply walk the dog. Walk the dog and put on some gloves, and that's too much effort. But she's committed to him. People will be like, but she's pregnant. Okay, do you think she was doing it before she was pregnant? Probably not. And to be honest, I think there's actually research that says that women walking is actually a good thing when they're pregnant. Let me double check. Let's have a look. So I just typed in, should women walk when they get pregnant, right? First article comes up. The benefits of walking during pregnancy. When you're pregnant, your energy levels may lag. You are, after all, creating a human life. But that's hard work. But despite the fact of your low energy and growing belly may make you feel more loungy around, you should be doing the opposite for at least 30 minutes a day. Exercise during pregnancy is important for your overall health and the health of the baby. The Centers of the Disease Control and Prevention recommend that healthy women get at least 150 minutes per week of moderate intensity activities, ideal spread out across the week. Do you brisk walk? All right. Do you know what makes ideal moderate intensity activity for pregnant women? Brisk walking. If she was to go for and walk the dog, it would actually be beneficial for her and the baby and probably the dog, who I think, like I said, has just come out of surgery or is having health problems at the time. Like, this is why it's up in. Women should go walk when pregnant. This walking in pregnancy. Walking is safe and simple way to stay active during pregnancy. Walking during benefits. The benefits and safety tips. So, yes, you probably should have walked the dog. And like I said, he's not asking her to build a rocket ship. He's asking her to walk the frigging dog. This is a woman who supposedly is more committed to him than life itself. Her quotes. But when it comes to walking the dog for our own health and our own well-being and for the well-being of the baby and probably the well-being of the dogs, she won't take him for a walk. But she's committed. Doesn't sound like it though, does it? So, why is the Daily Mail getting involved in this? I've told you guys long ago, the Daily Mail is establishment. Daily Mail, Daily Caller, whatever it is. They're establishment. Do I need to bring up Ben Shapiro pushing the vaccine? Do I need to bring up them in favour of lockdowns and masks? They push the establishment line. They're paid establishment shills masquerading as independent media. Who are their backers? Seems to be a big operation. Who funds them? Sure as shit not mum and dad pop fish and chip shops. They're establishment. And now, Steven Crowder is what? Going to Rumble? Just got this massive deal with Rumble? Is now going through and getting all these people to go through and check out the Rumble live streams? Let's see. Let's have a look at his numbers on Rumble. So this is the Steven Crowder channel here. 2 days ago was the last video. 1.5 million views. The one before that, 1.3 million. 1.7 million. One before that, 1.4 million. One before that, 1.3 million views. Seems to be killing it, doesn't he? So you have someone who's just signed from Rumble, is going through and giving Rumble a whole bunch of people signing up, making a viable second platform instead of YouTube, which are controlled by the establishment. And now, just as that happens, His wife is filing for divorce. And the same people that I've been calling establishment for the past God knows how many years are now trying to take him down. Wow, isn't that weird? Hey? We're seeing what happens to people who go up against the machine. Andrew Tate, Tucker Carlson, Steven Crowder. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Steven Crowder's a perfect guy. Don't even particularly like him that much. I'm okay on him. I think he's all right. I love his. I like his change my mind subjects. Videos. But to be honest, I also find them a little bit disingenuous too. I'm not his biggest fan. But just as he's going through and killing it on Rumble, like you can see here, I don't even think I'm subscribed. No, I'm not even followed. Not even. I'll follow him now. I wasn't even following him. I am now. But just as he's getting popular, just as he's building this platform, just as this platform is taking off, all of a sudden we have the cavalry, the paid shills coming in, who just seem to be taking him down. Weird, isn't it? Hey? The same people, the establishment shills that are supposedly independent. Right? Same ones that push, masks, vaccine mandates, lockdowns. Does anybody look at Ben Shapiro and think he's not establishment? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. To be honest, I'm not surprised they went for Crowder. To be honest, I think they're trying to stop him because they're gatekeepers. They're like, we're the conservative brand on YouTube. We're the powerhouse. And his little old Crowder, who screwed him over in the past with the recording the phone call. Don't get me started on that. All of a sudden, we're supporting people recording conversations with Project Veritas, but all of a sudden, when Steven Crowder does it, it's so bad. Okay, fine, whatever. But here's little old Steven Crowder. He's 1.3 million, 1.5 million followers, coming along, making Rumble a viable option. Like I said, does anybody not think the Daily Caller, whatever it is, Ben Shapiro's brand, does anyone not think that they're establishment? Don't get me wrong, they do some great stuff. I love the whole pushing against the trans argument and everything like that. I'm not saying they should be tossed out. What I am saying, though, is that, a broken clock is still right twice a day. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, guys, if this video's been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. I am uploading my videos to YouTube as well as Rumble. So I'm starting to upload to here as well. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment and we'll go from there. Have a great night. Enjoy yourself, guys. We'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube.